In this video, we're going to start looking at conditional probability. In this video, we're going to approach it from an entirely intuitive perspective, so no formulas in this video. I mean, equations, yes, numbers, yes, but no formulas just yet. We're going to try to develop a really strong sense of what it means intuitively, and then in the next video, we're going to look at what the generalization of this is, and then get a formula for it. Okay, let's have a look at some probability questions, some conditional probability questions that you should be able to figure out. Okay, suppose that we had a Venn diagram, and in that Venn diagram, we represented some frequencies. And remember that in Venn diagrams, we can have probabilities, we can also have frequencies. So what we're going to go with here is, we suppose that we've got some children in a class, and some of them boys and some of them girls. And so let's have the boys in here, and then some of them have long hair and some of them have short hair. So we're going to have long hair here. So we've got, boys with long hair here, girls with long hair here, boys with short hair here, and girls with short hair here. And then let's say that we've got the numbers as well. So let's say that the numbers are as follows. We've got 14, and then we've got 3, and we've got 12, and we've got 6. So here is the setup, and we could start asking probability questions like, for example, what is the probability that a randomly selected child is a boy with long hair? And this is obviously simple. It's not a probability, it's not a conditional question yet. That's the intersection divided by, well, how many students are there? Well, there's 14 plus 3 plus 12 plus 6, which is 35. So our answer is 3 over 35. Now, here's the conditional probability bit. What if we said, what is the probability that a child has long hair given that they are a boy? So that is, a child has long hair given that they are a boy. So what's going on there? Well, this is what we're saying. We're saying given that they're a boy, so we're only looking at the children in this boy bubble here. So out of these, okay, so out of those children selected, and there are 17 there, what's the probability they have long hair? Well, out of the boys, out of the 17 boys, 3 of them have long hair. So that is the probability that a child has long hair given that they're a boy. The thing that has been given is the thing where we focus our attention on. So out of these, 3 of them have long hair. Now, here's how we write that. We write that as the probability that they have long hair given that they are a boy. So it's a vertical line down to represent L given B. Probability they have long hair given that they're a boy. We could work out the probability that they're a boy given they have long hair as well. The probability they're a boy given that they have long hair, well, given that they have long hair means I'm focusing myself only on these children. That is only the children with long hair, and there are 15 of those. And how many of them are boys? 3. So there's the probability of a boy given that they have long hair. Okay, that was Venn diagrams, kind of intuitive look, no formulas yet. Let's have a look at tables. So suppose I have an extensive wine collection, all right? And now some of my wines are red and some of my wines are white. And some of my wines come from Italy and some of my wines come from France. And let's say that is it. I'm very particular. It's either red or white, and it's either Italy or France. And I have this table where I keep track of all my wine. And let's say the numbers are as follows. So I have 20 Italian reds, and I have 8 Italian whites, and I have 12 French reds, and I have 10 Italian whites. Well, again, we could answer simple questions like what's the probability that it's French or white, or things like that, but let's jump straight for some conditional ones. So what is the probability that my wine is French given that it is a white wine. All right, so given that it's a white wine means that I'm only looking at my white wines. So I'm focusing my attention just on these 18 wines. So out of those 18 wines, how many of them are French? Well, 10 of them. So 10 out of my 18 white wines are French. And there's the probability that a wine is French, given that it's white. Let's have a think about another one. What else could we say? Well, what is the probability that a wine is red, given that it is Italian? Well, I now restrict myself to look only at the Italian wines, so just these 28 wines. So out of these 28 wines, how many of them are red? Well, 20 out of my 28 Italian wines are red. Therefore, the probability that it is red, given that it's Italian, is 20 out of 28. So that's an intuitive look at conditional probability. What we're going to be doing from this point onwards is formalizing that into an equation, to a formula, a conditional probability formula, and that is going to allow us to apply it to a whole world of different complicated, exciting probability questions. All right, see you in the next video where we look at the formula.